Hey everyone, welcome to Plants and Politics. So I have an interesting update and some new developments on a story that I covered following the November election. This involves, as you may recall, the candidate who appeared to have been used to siphon votes away from an incumbent Democrat in the Florida State Senate. So for those of you who have forgotten, or maybe you missed that show, here's a quick summary. A man named Alex Rodriguez ran as a candidate with no party affiliation. He was an auto parts dealer. He had no history in politics, and he was registered as a Republican up until just a few days prior to submitting his documents to run as no party preference. Included in those documents, by the way, was an address that he used where he hadn't lived in 10 years. His actual address was not even located in the district in which he was running, and he held not one rally, not one campaign event. He did no public outreach at all. In fact, when a reporter went and knocked on his door of his true address and tried to talk to him about his candidacy and the fact that his address didn't match, he pretended to be someone else, and he said, "Oh, Alex isn't home." However, someone or some entity spent thousands of dollars on direct mailers within the district in which he was running. And the address for this dark money group who funded these mailers was that of a UPS store. It wasn't even a physical address. And the mailers falsely promoted this guy as a progressive candidate who would fight against climate change, and he was going to guarantee a living wage. He was also one of three candidates running for this seat in this district. So the other two people who were running were Republican Ileana Garcia and then the incumbent Democrat named Jose Rodriguez. Obviously, the belief was that Alex Rodriguez had been chosen in part due to his last name. They wanted to confuse voters when they were casting their ballots because both of them had the surname of Rodriguez, and it appeared to have worked. This Alex Rodriguez managed to steal 6,000 votes away from the real Democrat, from the actual progressive in the race. Therefore, the Republican candidate, Ileana Garcia, won this race by only 32 votes. So now law enforcement has raided the home of a former Republican state senator, a man named Frank Artiles. He allegedly masterminded this scheme to rig the election. Apparently, Artiles was drinking and bragging at an election night party for a senator named Jason Brodeur. And at this party, Artiles announced his involvement to the crowd. He was bragging about how he planted Alex Rodriguez to swing the race for Garcia. He told this crowd, quote, "That is me. That was all me." And according to news reports, Artiles and Rodriguez are longtime acquaintances, and a source with direct knowledge of what took place in all this, he told investigators that Artiles was extensively involved in this fake campaign for Rodriguez. So this Artiles guy is complete scum. He is your typical racist, sexist GOP lawmaker who had to slink away in shame and resigned from the state Senate in 2017 because he just had a trail of scandals. In 2015, he was accused of getting in a fight at a local bar. He denied it. Another time, he got drunk in a different Florida bar, and that time he used racist slurs against two Black lawmakers. Then he used political committee funds to hire political consultants, which sounds innocent, right? Sounds totally normal, appropriate. Well, yeah. One of these political consultants, and I say that using air quotes, was a former Hooters calendar girl. The other one was a Playboy model. Needless to say, Neither one of these two women had political experience. So this guy is just, like I said, he's a scumbag. And it sounds like he doesn't mix well with alcohol, so he might want to consider giving it up. But this whole thing is just further proof that Republicans know they can't win, and so they have to cheat. They know their ideas are unpopular. If Trump-loving Ileana Garcia had popular positions, if her policies and her beliefs appealed to a majority of voters, they wouldn't have to run a fake progressive to beat her. Obviously, the majority of the votes went to Democrats in this district. Clearly, there's more people with progressive Democratic beliefs. So rather than considering that maybe the country has moved on from our regressive, archaic, corporate shill policies, and perhaps we should change our platform to appeal to more people, no. Why do that? Why actually try to win legitimately? No, instead, the Republican establishment believes that we know what's best for everyone. They have this patriarchal stance that they are the father figures of the country and they know what we all need, even though we don't know it ourselves. So no, they refuse to change. Instead, they'd rather force their 1950s sexist, racist, corporatist, greed is good, bullshit worldview down everyone's throat. And they're going to cheat in order to do it. You're going to take your medicine and you're going to like it. These people absolutely need to go. I'm sorry. Joe Biden and everyone else who says, oh, we need two parties in this country. Yeah, well, we need two legitimate parties in this country. And that's not to let Democrats off the hook because they've got their own establishment bullshit to deal with. We need two or three or more legitimate parties who aren't beholden to corporate interests. So anyway, guys, I'll keep an eye on this story because I have a feeling it's going to get really good because this Rodriguez guy was not the only one to have run like this. He's not the only one who appears to be some sort of fake shill candidate. There were two other people who were also run in the same way, who were also backed by these same dark money forces. So I have a feeling this is just the tip of the iceberg, but I'll keep you posted. As always, thanks so much for watching and listening. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon. Please remember to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss any other updates on this story or others.